Welcome back, my gardening friends. What a beautiful day it is today, and it's just getting towards evening, and I've managed to get up to the plot. It's nice and dry, and it's the first time it's been dry for a long time, so it's time to get those urgent repairs to the polytunnel done that I was going to try and do in September and October of 2018. And we're already in 2019 in February. So let's have a look. We've got some windows to replace and some repairs to do. Now this is EnviroMesh netting, keep the bugs out of the polytunnel. And before, it used to have the little flaps that you used to roll up, and it used to have some sort of netting on, which deteriorated through age. So before, I siliconed them on from behind, but as you can see now, I've got this wire on the inside, so I'm going to have to bodge and codge that to get it on. These have been done probably 2 or 3 years now. If I was to give it a good tug, it would probably come off, but the bugs aren't going to do that. So we've got those there to do. This corner has always been a bane of my life. We've got some rough bits, a few holes, and possibly mainly damage that I've caused, but this end does seem to be going slightly rotten, and just an area there I might slip a bit of silicone on. Now this design has got bolt holes that hold the runners together, and they rub on the polythene, so I'll have to remember that when I put the new cover on. Now, as you can see, this has had the joint sealed up, a patch there that's held, but this one is just holding on by a little bit, so we'll put a bit more silicone on that, and that'll stop this tear from getting any worse. If the wind gets into that, it'll be goodbye to the polytunnel. And I would like to make it last at least another 12 months, 2 years. I don't want to be doing this next fall. And I've got the regular areas that have slightly deteriorated, and I've just got one little hole there that I shall just slip a bit of silicone in. This silicone I had out of a skip, so it was a case of it doesn't matter where it come from or how good it is, it's done the job. Now this is a translucent silicone, and this one I got in the clearance for 50p. It stinks, and the stuff that stinks is a lot better than the stuff that doesn't. So I always go for the translucent. I did buy another tube the other day because I wanted to make sure that I got this tunnel back up to scratch, ready for the next lot of storms. I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I've got a few areas here where it runs down and goes behind the guttering instead of in this guttering, so we'll just tidy those up. Just disappearing out of shot. I can finish those bits later. I always use gloves for this. I'm not sure whether there's a right way up now. Got some of the old silicone still on it. But you don't want this silicone on your fingers. It's going to come down a little bit. I'm sure this is the right one. I'll just pull it down. There we go. As he puts his hand in the water. We want the beneficial insects to get in the polytunnel, but this just looks better to have a nice little window on it. I'm going to try and switch the recorder off. Now, in when I bought this allotment, the old plot holder who I paid for all the bits, he kept everything. He kept his old polytunnel cover. So at least now I can actually have some of the same material to repair it. The actual polytunnel tape, repair tape, isn't any good for this because it's got a rough surface, and yeah, it's smooth on one side, but it's I prefer to use silicone. Makes a better job. Don't know what these are, but they I found these around the plot and on that corner, and it looks like that's what is used to hold this corner on. Gonna need to get my steps to get up there, so if I can find a finger that hasn't covered in silicone and get stuck to the screen, I'll just finish that off. Not bothered what it looks like. Just saves me a bit of money. I'll nip over the other side and I'll show you what we've actually done. So that was the main culprit, and I do need a little bit more if I seal around those edges and do these joints. I've done the joint on this one because the joints do leak and it does come into the polytunnel. Not a big issue, but it's nice to have it half right. And we've done a little hole there, and it was actually rubbing on the part. As you can see, there's these odd bits all around, and they can easily tear in the high winds. So that bit there, I've just rubbed a load in, same as that. We've made a reasonable repair on that. It'll do us there. Middle of the screen there, there's a bit there that needs doing. I'll get that sorted when I get some extra. The whole joint has been done on this one, and then we've still got these two joints. So I think if I get another tube, it's £4 English. So I'm going to estimate that this will have cost me about £8 to repair and make good for the next lot of weather that gets thrown at us. And obviously the sunlight will keep deteriorating this, but from day one I've made the repairs, and I've said to you all along on my allotment journey, I'm going to make this last as long as I can. So we're inside now where that big tear was, and this is silicone from before, and that's holding really well. But you can see, because this has been flapping and stretching, it has stretched a little bit, and I will endeavour to put some silicone behind here and then push it from this angle, and that will make it a really good fix for any more storms that hit the UK. So it's a good job done. I've been waiting for a long time for this, as I've already said, and I did find 10 tubes of silicone, and that's all gone now. So that's went round that window there and a few other bits, and all round the allotment, doing different jobs. But you're surprised what people do throw away. Coloured silicone they don't want, but it's ideal for bodging and codging. So thank you very much guys for commenting, subscribing, liking, and the odd share. Do really appreciate it. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.